the residents of Nyamira County, signed by Senator Okongo Mogeni, Senator of Nyamira. Madam Speaker, if I get a minute to comment.
Senator Mogeni, please sit down. Members, I'll allow a few minutes for members to comment on the statements that have been made. Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, we will give 30 minutes for comments.
So how much per person?
And 2 minutes per person. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3
Okay,
minutes.
I think
6 people to speak.
3 minutes.
From those 6, you'll start fighting.
3 minutes. Order, Senator Mogeni. Let's. Okay, Senator Abbas has the floor.
thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to contribute to 2 statements, one for Honourable Chute. Madam Speaker, as asked by noted by the member of Marsabit, the senator from Marsabit, there has been a lot of development that has taken place in counties according to the course that we have. But of course, so many of the developments that have been settled in the various by counties cannot be accounted for. Some of them cannot be accounted for. Most of the projects have stalled, and some of the projects, some of the counties like a place like Taita Taveta has 146 stalled projects. Turkana equally has so many projects. Every county has so many projects that are stalled. And these projects are not completed at any one given time. For the last 13 years, some of them are still standstill. And therefore, I think as a chairman of the Committee of Devolution, my committee has decided to visit each and every county to verify the existence of these projects, stalled projects, so that they can be able to know the truth of the matter on the ground. Having said that, I also want to contribute to Omogeni's statement. Honourable Speaker, actually it's a very unfortunate situation. After the impeachment of the incumbent governor failed, there has been parallel speakers in the assemblies of Nyamira. And the county has not been operating, the assembly has not been operating very well. There have been a lot of rivalries. And I don't know even how the governor was even approving his budgets. And therefore, we will also visit very soon the same place to go and see and reconcile the 2 rivalry groups so that at least the county assembly can continue executing their duties. Thank you so much.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to address myself to the statement by Senator Mogeni on the crisis in the county government of Nyamira. Madam Speaker, when the governor of Nyamira appeared before the County Public Accounts Committee, I was present. Madam Speaker, I want to say, without the fear of contradiction, that if there has been any serious threat to devolution, that threat is in Nyamira County. Madam Speaker, I listened in great disbelief the governor admitting on record that there are actually 2 county assemblies in Nyamira. There are 2 speakers. There are 2 clerks. Madam Speaker, to make it even worse, there are 2 quote-unquote official seals of the County Assembly of Nyamira, each clerk carrying their own seal. And there's one senator in Nyamira. Madam Speaker, I want to challenge. Even, Madam Speaker, I even asked the governor to confirm to us whether there is a second governor in Nyamira. But he confirmed that there is only one. Madam Speaker, I want to challenge the Committee on Devolution. Madam Speaker, it is not enough for the chairman to tell us that he will visit that county soon. Soon is not soon enough, Madam Speaker. In fact, this is one situation where that committee should have moved suo motu on their own motion to go and save devolution in Nyamira. Madam Speaker, I want to ask your office to kindly direct that this committee this week goes to Nyamira and comes and reports to this house what exactly is happening in Nyamira. Madam Speaker, we may actually need to call that county government of Nyamira, both the executive and the assembly, to come and tell us what exactly is the problem in Nyamira. Counties have conflicts, but the dysfunction in the county of Nyamira, Madam Speaker, is the greatest threat to devolution in this country. Madam Speaker, I request you to order that something is done, not soon, but immediately, Madam Speaker. I thank you.
Senator Cherarki.
Madam Speaker, thank you. One, I want just to comment on the issue of digital taxi operators. Madam Speaker, I think we have spoken about this issue, that at least the baseline should be 300 shillings when you are hiring or using digital taxi operator, Madam Speaker, because looking at the operational cost, the cost of fuel is high, the cost of spare parts is also high, Madam Speaker, and you know most of the taxi operators who operate these digital taxi operators online are young people. If now that the public service cannot accommodate everybody, Madam Speaker, please let us ensure and house that the compliance and operational costs should be increased so that we protect the digital taxi operators. I think this matter has come up several, Mr. Speaker, and that is why Uber and other digital online should have an office in Kenya. So that when we raise such issues of digital operation of taxi, we give opportunity, Madam Speaker, to many young people who drive this digital taxi. Madam Speaker, and even when you talk about baseline of 300, the fuel per liter is almost the same amount. So if you are paying for that amount, what will you pay for the spare parts, Madam Speaker? Secondly, I want to say I was shocked, Madam Speaker, and I'm disappointed that the Devolution Committee should have taken this matter. You cannot have two speakers, two messes, two seals, two clerks, Madam Speaker. But I want to think, because I've been following Nyamira politics, is that the governor is a very sharp politician. Because after the failed impeachment, he decided to create chaos in the county assembly. And Madam Speaker, the senior counsel, who is the senator of Nyamira, should have given us, or he assumed that there is judicial notice of what is happening, Madam Speaker. Because anything that has been passed, Madam Speaker, and the senior counsel, the area senator knows, is illegal. Any budget approvals that the governor has been passed in Nyamira County Assembly is illegal. And therefore, the dysfunctionality of Nyamira County Assembly is not by default, it is by design, Madam Speaker, by the county executive, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, the members of County Assembly should know that the more they perpetuate the dysfunctionality of the County Assembly of Nyamira, they are undermining and killing devolution in Nyamira, Madam Speaker. And therefore, the Intergovernmental Relations and the Devolution Committee must come out strongly and address this issue, Madam Speaker, so that we fail. I know MCS have a challenge with the issues of salaries and welfare, the issue of Ward Development Fund. We have given them financial autonomy as the MCS and county assemblies. They should assist us by protecting devolution, Madam Speaker. So I hope, Madam Speaker, going into the future, by today, Madam Speaker, can you direct understanding order number 1, that by Tuesday next week, the Devolution Committee, understanding order 56, must report the progress of what is happening. I support, Madam Speaker.
Senator Faki.
Asante Bispika kwa kunipa fursa hii kuchangia maombi ya taarifa kutoka kwa Senator Mogeni. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni masikitiko kuwa kaunti ya Nyamira inaongoza kwa safari ya kuregesha ugatuzi nyuma. Mheshimiwa Spika, haiwezekani kuwe na mabunge mawili ya kaunti ya Nyamira. na kama alivyozungumza Senator Cherigei, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kwamba kamati ya devolution, hata kama ni kuwaita mahasimu wote pamoja na gavana wa kaunti hiyo wiki hii ili waweze kutoa mwongozo au mwangaza kuhusiana na swala hili. Ni aibu Mheshimiwa Spika kwamba kaunti ya Nyamira imeshindwa kutatua masuala kama hayo madogo. Nakumbuka Mheshimiwa Spika, mwaka 2018 tulikuwa na shida katika kaunti ya Mombasa ambapo kulikuwa na watu wanaandamana kila siku kuulitisha bunge la kaunti ya Mombasa wakisema fagia bunge, fagia bunge. Na tulipouliza hapa, baada ya wiki moja gavana aliletwa hapa, spika akaletwa hapa, na matatizo hayo yakamalizwa siku moja, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hivyo sio masuala ya kungojea, Mheshimiwa Spika. Haya ni masuala ambayo yatakana mara moja, kamati husika yavalie njuga na hakikisha kwamba kufikia Jumanne wiki ijayo tumepata mwafaka kuhusiana na swala hilo. Haiwezekani kupotezana kaunti kupoteza wakati kuwa na mabunge wawili, maspika wawili, makarani wawili, bunge moja la kaa msituni, moja la kaa mjini. Ni aibu Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hivyo naomba Mheshimiwa Spika, kamati hii husika ifuatilie swala hilo kwa haraka ili tuweze kupata mwelekeo kuhusu ni nani ambaye anastahili kuendesha mambo ya bunge la kaunti ya Nyamira kwa watu wa Nyamira. Asante Bi Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii.
Senator Khalwale.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is only this afternoon that we have given an additional 410,284,520 shillings to Nyamira County. We have passed it this afternoon. This is how serious this House is. And where is this money going? Going to the office of the governor, and in accordance with the provisions of this constitution, he can only spend it after appropriation by the assembly. So the governor must tell us, that's where the buck stops, which county assembly will be responsible for allowing him to spend this money. Madam Speaker, the controller of the budget is responsible for oversighting the implementation of budgets by county governments. She should also appear before the committee and tell the committee the budget she has been implementing has been passed by which county. Madam Speaker, it is this level of impunity that is the reason why governors assumed the title of His Excellency. I remember in the year 2014, I moved a draft bill in this House saying that this position of His Excellency is going to make governors to be drunk of power. You can see the evidence. Madam Speaker, I said in that draft bill that they'll be so drunk of power that that drunkenness will also by osmosis affect their wives. Madam Speaker, as if I was wrong, the governors today call their wives.
What's your point of order, Senator Mandago?
There is no way Senator Boni Khalwale can go with that statement while I'm seated here, Madam Speaker. Understanding Order 105. Can he provide evidence that as a governor who served 10 years, I was drunk with power? There is enough evidence that I was not drunk with power. That's why I'm in this House. So you cannot say governors. Can you name the specific governors who are drunk with power, Senator Boni Khalwale?
Madam Speaker.
Senator Khalwale, Senator Mandago, first, you have not been mentioned by Senator Khalwale. So I think your point of order is misguided. So proceed, Senator Khalwale. You don't have to respond.
Madam Speaker, the Senator of Washinigishu should just... Sorry. the Senator of Washington Kishu should just declare his interest in this matter as far as my comment is concerned. Because he is not an ignorant man.
Senator Halwale, I already declared the point of order irrelevant. So
Thank
proceed with your point.
Thank you. You have saved him. I was going to crush him. I am going. He's a very lucky man this afternoon. But, Mr. Speaker, I was saying something very serious. That this drunkenness of power, as I feared in 2014 in my draft bill, has become so infectious that today they call their wives First Lady. Madam Speaker, they even have first daughters. And they have first sons. And they have first mothers. And they have first concubine. And they have... Madam Speaker, the sad ending of this first something is that they are first something with a budget. You know, Madam Speaker, as the chair of JLAC, you sat on my petition when I was insisting that the governor of Kakamega, Fernandes Balasa, should not be allowed to have a budget for his wife. Because of the bureaucracy in legislation and the way business is transacted, the first so-called lady of Kakamega is still enjoying a budget. Theft of public funds. And, Madam Speaker, as if I was being prophetic, probably out of that budget of the Office of the First Lady, 2 weeks ago, the governor of Kakamega bought a bulletproof Lexus worth 54.
Give him 30 seconds to finish.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank the chair of the committee. He has already moved and called the governor of Nyamira. They are coming next week. I want to appeal that his appearance should not be just in the committee. It should be the committee of the whole. We want to be there and pin him down. Pin him down, Madam Speaker. I saw him rudely dismiss a distinguished scholar, a senior counsel, when he was before the committee. This kind of jokes. Governors, even when you come this way,
Your time is up, Senator Halwale. Senator Cheruyot.
Speaker, I want to comment quickly on two issues. One is this issue of Nyamira. It's not possible to have two county assemblies, Senator Omogeni, without the support of two offices. One is the office of the governor, and two, the office of the controller of budget. Those are the two most critical offices in any devolution system, because the controller of budget must appraise this house on which request for funding to our county assemblies. Which of the two functions is she funding, and based on what? And based on that decision, then that is a legitimate county assembly. Number two, I know that the gazetted county assembly was, I think, broken down into and either locked up. Perhaps you may better furnish this house with information, Madam Speaker. Yes, I don't mind being informed, because this is a very important matter, Madam Speaker, that I'd wish to understand. Where do these two different factions sit, and why it's not possible to sit at the gazetted County Assembly of Nyamira?
You may proceed.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I want to inform my neighbor, the good senator of Kericho, that the premises, the official premises of the County Assembly of Nyamira have not been broken into. They are functional. The one faction of the assembly sits there. Even last week, after the appearance before the SIPA committee, they sat there. What is happening is a situation where the governor chooses to deal with one faction outside the official premises of the County Assembly of Nyamira. But in terms of the status of the building, the infrastructure, everything is intact and in place.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm now properly informed, because, you know, the last time I saw, I think there was a serious fight at the County Assembly, and I thought perhaps maybe the official residence. Then if that is the case, this is a very simple matter. Because why should the County Assembly, the one that is properly moved
and sits in the premises of a county assembly, consider any business from that county government. Why I said it's the control of budget perhaps who's letting us down, Madam Speaker, is that there are certain statutory obligations that must be met by the county assembly before, say, requisitions are sent, matters such as budget and things like that. It is proper for her to check which county assembly has forwarded or has approved, Madam Speaker, some of these budgets that come from that particular county, because at the heart of this dispute, resources are never far away from it. And if you can stop the taps, Madam Speaker, until that matter is resolved, even that other county assembly, how is it resourced, Madam Speaker? Because if people are meeting, it will be interesting to know how the purported clerk of that other housing is able to draw from the exchequer and meet their bills, Madam Speaker, unless the budget is not supporting us. Finally, supporting the proper county assembly. Finally, Madam Speaker, is on this issue of the housing fund that was raised by Senator Chute. It will be important, Madam Speaker, because this fund, we all contribute to it, and sometimes not very easily, because these are deduction out of our salary. And Kenya has 47 counties. And I know this fund is used to build houses and markets. It will be important that that statement is tabled in this house so that we can all see how much has gone to every county and the justification for the expenditure. Madam Speaker, we cannot pretend a situation where certain counties have 20 markets and others have 2 or 3 only. It is important, Madam Speaker, for equity, and the Senate being the house that is charged with the responsibility of ensuring that there is equal distribution of resources in this country. That is an interesting report that you are waiting. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Mungatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to, Madam Speaker, I wanted to make a comment on the financial crisis at the Technical University of Kenya. Madam Speaker, in the Coast Province, we have very few public universities. But the ones that are there, including the Technical University of Kenya in Mombasa, they have served all the 6 counties of the coast, including people from my own county in Tana River. They come all the way to Mombasa to get their education. It is very sad, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, to hear from this statement that this technical university is reducing staff, is cutting down on its expenditures, and it is basically showing signs of total financial crisis, suggesting that this is one of the few universities in the coast region that may be on the brink of collapse. Madam Speaker, we want, as the committee investigates this matter, the Education Committee of the Senate, to also interrogate the minister. Madam Speaker, public universities have not been equally spread across the counties. We have seen certain counties, Madam Speaker, enjoying a lot of facilities. I mean, you will find several public universities in one particular county or 2, but in certain regions, Madam Speaker, you will find, like in the coast region, very few public universities. The private universities, Madam Speaker, that are there, they are very expensive and people cannot afford them. And people are not able also to pay for those fees and the requirements that are there. And then you find certain regions lacking in terms of the degree qualifications, master's and even PhD qualifications. Madam Speaker, we would request that as the committee investigates this, they look into the possibility of driving the point that resources need to be spread fairly across the counties. That the minister must also look at a possibility of supporting, deliberate support for this particular university so that it does not collapse. They should look at the possibility of making sure that it survives the crisis that is ongoing, so that, Madam Speaker, the
Senator Mazayo.
Asante sana Bispika. Bispika, nataka kuchangia hususan hii iliyoletwa na ndugu yangu Omogeni. Jambo la kwanza ni jambo la kusikitisha sana. Kusikitisha sana kulinganishana na kaunti hii ya Kisii, ya Nyamira. Kaunti ya Nyamira kuna watu wamesoma. Nyamira kuna watu ambao wanaelewa kunaendelea namna gani. Lakini kwa hivi sasa tunaona aibu tupu ambayo huyu gavana Amos ameweza kuileta ndani ya Nyamira. Haiwezekani kuwa na county assembly mbili ikiwa wewe ni governor peke yake pale. Haiwezekani. Na ni matusi kwa watu wa Nyamira kufanyiwa namna hii. Kitu cha kwanza, juzi anatuambia kwamba hajui sasa ni county gani ambayo, county assembly gani ambayo iko na mamlaka zaidi ya mwingine. Lakini ikifika saa ya kutambua pale anapeleka pesa, anaweza kuangalia pale mambo ya pesa yanapokwenda. Haangalii sasa ni county gani ambayo, ni county assembly gani ambayo inatikana kulingana na sheria. Haijafanyika hata siku moja katika Kenya yetu kuona ya kwamba katika tokea ugatuzi uanzishwe kwamba katika county moja unapata kwamba kuna county assemblies mbili. Je, wewe kama governor uko na akili kweli? Uko na akili kwamba unaweza kuruhusu county mbili na wewe governor mmoja unaketi hapo mahali? Ndio sababu alipokuwa amekuja hapa na akaulizwa maswali, ilipatikana ya kwamba yeye mwenyewe katika taarifa ya masomo yake yako na shida. Alileta makaratasi gushi ndio akaruhusiwa hata akasimama. Hii tabia ya kuruhusu watu wa kuleta makaratasi gushi alafu wanapitisha hii makaratasi, wengine wanaenda kupigania vyeo, hii ndio imetufanya sasa tumekuwa na magavana ambao sasa wana behave namna hii. Kazi yao hawajui kwa sababu hata kwenda skuli pia ilikuwa shida. Sasa Bispika, sisi tunasema huu uchawi ambao unaendelea ndani ya Nyamira ukome. Huyu aweze kuitwa hapa vile ambavyo tunamuita hapa, aje hapa, asiende kwa kamati, aje hapa aonekane na nyumba nzima yote ya bunge la Senate, ili tuweze kumhoji na kumuuliza vizuri sana. Kama hizo karatasi alienda nazo skuli atatuonyesha hapa, na tuhakikishe kwamba ziko sawa. Zikiwa haziko sawa, zipelekwe katika kituo cha sheria ama kipelekwe katika kitengo kile ambacho kinaweza kuangalia makaratasi. Hatuwezi kuwa na mtu ambaye hawezi.
Dakika moja.
Dakika mbili, Bispika. Bispika, anataka kumaliza.
Proceed.
Kitu ambacho mimi nataka kusema ni kwamba tafadhali gavana afanye heshima na watu wa Nyamira ili aweze kuwekeza ama kuleta mwelekeo vile watu wataendelea na county assembly. Hatuwezi kukubali kuwa na speaker wawili, kuwa na maclerks wawili, kuwa na kila mahali watu wawili. Wanalipwaje hao watu? Na mimi nataka kukubaliana na kiongozi wa walio wengi, ndugu yangu Cheriot, akisema ya kwamba makosa haya yanaletwa na mtu mmoja ambaye ako na interest hapo, ambaye anaweza kutuambia. Kwa hiyo sisi tunasema kwamba huyo mtu pia na yeye huyo control of budget, ikiwa itawezekana, baada ya yeye tumuite aje katika jumba hili la Senate ili tuweze kumhoji. Asante Bispika.
Senator Murgoro.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. The situation in Nyamira is such a pathetic one that it beats logic what to call it or name it, because it definitely shows that the system there and that county is probably collapsed. And that is why one man is operating it the way he wants. and technically managing the situation such that the assembly has no powers. It is one person that has powers to operate the way he wants. And then, needless to say that it is a system or it is a county that is operating in illegality, because there is no way that two assemblies can operate in one assembly. It is almost like two cooks cooking from one pot, and you can expect that kind of a ugali. It will not be good for human consumption. And then it is also signifies an abuse of office. That governor has really abused that office, and also abusing devolution, because that is not what devolution is supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to operate. And therefore, he is really abusing devolution and abusing power, the power that is given to him. And then also, he should appear before all of us so that we scrutinize and push him to the wall to prove all of these questions that people are asking about his academia and how he arrived at that, and also the controller of budget, because that is probably the source of the powers that the governor is operating on. Thank you.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Senate should just be candid enough to call out the governor of Nyamira County so that he should stop his tactic of divide and rule of the County Assembly of Nyamira. Honorable Speaker, we all know that the clerk of a county assembly is the CEO of the legislative arm of a county government. What does this governor want? To see that the county assembly, which performs the primary oversight role, do, so that he gets away with a number of things. Honorable Speaker, I call this act that is happening in Nyamira County Assembly an act of criminality. And so, without going into the specific, the Senate should just be candid enough, and as I say, call out the governor of Nyamira to put his house in order, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the county assembly, the clerk runs the funds of the county assembly. Honorable Speaker, that is why, as a Senate, we must fast-track the fact that the county assemblies should have autonomy in running their finances. Secondly, Madam Speaker, I want to comment on the statement regarding the financial crisis at the Technical University of Kenya. Madam Speaker, we remember this institution, that it is an institution that produced one of the best technical skills that run this country. Sometimes some of us even regret the fact that the institution was turned into a university, and partly maybe that is the reason that it has had a lot of problems, especially management problems, financial problems. And so, Madam Speaker, the ministry should pay keen attention on the Technical University of Kenya, because up to now, Madam Speaker, this is an institution that is leading in providing premier skills in technical skills that serve this country. We have a number of polytechnics in our counties, and a number of the lecturers that run these polytechnics, that run these vocational training institutes in our counties were students who were prepared by the Technical University of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, I support this and thank you for granting me an opportunity.
Honorable Senators, we will defer order number 11, and pursuant to Standing Order 45-2, I would like to reorganize the order so that we move on to order number 19.
Okay.
There we go. So, order number 19, the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2024, second reading.
Majority?
Madam Speaker, you know I don't want to be accused like the Nyamira County people that I have started a Senate of my own. So I have to wait for you to grant me the floor before I can proceed. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I beg to move that the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill 2024 be now read a second time. Madam Speaker, this is one of the so-called NADCO bills, bills that we got out of a negotiated process after the many events, and I don't need to go back to the history of how we found ourselves before the NADCO panel. And we sat down, Madam Speaker.
Senator Halwale, what's your point of order?
Madam Speaker, I hate to interrupt the leader of the majority. Standing order number 105. This House knows our leader of majority as somebody with very good command of English. And actually educated, trained, and examined and qualified in communication, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, could he explain what he means by the so-called NADCO report? Or could he be quietly communicating something to the House so that I can whip the House to help him achieve the desired result?
Majority Leader,
Yeah.
first move the bill to be read a second time.
I did actually.
They don't seem to have got it.
Really?
So just move it.
Check
and
the
then,
records.
and
I
then,
actually did.
proceed.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill 2024 be now read a second time. Madam Speaker, this is, and you know, Senator Boni Halwale requested that I clarify what I mean when I said that this is part of the products of the so-called NADCO process. That's what I mentioned. This is a National Dialogue Committee, a motion that this House adopted and set up a committee, Senator Halwale, of members from both sides actually of the House. And we sat at Bomas of Kenya, somewhere in Gilgil, and different parts of the country, and eventually it was signed. The report was signed and we brought the bills into the House. In total, we had 9 bills. To the best of my recollection, I think this is the 4th bill that I moved in this House. There are others that are before the National Assembly, which they are concluding, and they'll soon be sending this side. I think there's one which we have completely finished or done with, the IBC Amendment Bill, which is why the IBC recruitment process is ongoing, and the rest of the processes are here. You know, Madam Speaker, allow me to detour just for a second before I speak on the bill. There are many times that as Parliament we do things at moments of crisis, but then like the proverbial, I don't know what the English word is, but I know that in Swahili that animal is called ngiri, Madam Speaker. The warthog actually, thank you Senator Faki for reminding me. Ngiri, yes, we shouldn't be very quick to forget. Many times after that crisis is done, we revert back to our old ways. We remember the mood in which the country was in just before the formation of the NADCO committee,
and how we were able to progress. And I'm grateful because there are many laws that are today being processed through the legislative system, including that of the IBC, with a view to rectifying many of the issues that were brought to us by Kenyans. There is even Constitution Amendment Bill. This afternoon, we passed a motion, actually, on the consideration of the 2/3 gender rule principle, which is one of the products, Madam Speaker. It's only that I am still struggling with how the Constitution Amendment Bill will actually fit into the architecture of a bicameral parliament, given the fact that the National Assembly did their report. You guys at Justice and Legal Affairs, you also did your own report, Madam Speaker. It's something that we need to take a decision on as a House. But the point that I'm trying to make is that when we retreat as a House and try to move the country with us, we should never lose sight of the reason why we brought the country together at that time. I am reminded again, Senator Boni Halwale, that after the invasion of Parliament in June last year, we passed a very detailed motion before this House. And I keep on reminding chairpersons of committees that that motion was so detailed that it assigned various rules and responsibilities, Madam Speaker, to our various committees. The Budget and Finance Committee, for example, where you pass, where you serve, Senator Boni Halwale, there's something you guys were supposed to do about debt. I know there is a PFM amendment, for example, on the debt anchor situation. I shared my thoughts with you last week on why, while I may not necessarily disagree with the thought of how to move it, the process through how you achieve it and how you guide the country to avoid a default is something that you need to guide us. And so many other things that you requested of the various committees. The Committee on National Cohesion, Madam Speaker, capturing representation in various institutions. There are institutions that are being mentioned, Madam Speaker, and it's a shame that in this day and age, there are state departments that can actually conduct official meeting in certain local dialects, Madam Speaker, and they still exist. And there are quite a number of names that they keep on popping up here and there. And to receive that information, that the way this particular minister, permanent secretary, director, CEO has constituted certain state organs within the ambit of what is under their jurisdiction, calls to question whether they understand the provisions of chapter of Article 10 of our Constitution, Madam Speaker, on national values. And that is work that we gave to our committee on national cohesion. And we still are awaiting their report. And so many other things, Madam Speaker, because I'd hate to imagine that, for example, when we get to June, in a few months' time, actually 2 months' time, people will look back and replay the clips of all the things that all of you, fortunately, every single senator, the 67 of us, we spoke to that motion. To just speak and walk away, Madam Speaker, we must, in retrospect, Madam Speaker, ask ourselves whether we lost a moment and whether as a House there is still the possibility of rectifying that particular moment. Because this House of the Senate, Madam Speaker, is, though people may say many things about Parliament, though people may say many things about politicians, at least there is a level of trust that citizens have with this particular House, Madam Speaker, that you don't find in many other houses of Parliament, Madam Speaker. And it's really unfortunate if we continue with the trend of speaking at the spur of the moment and moving away immediately after. I am glad that we are having a conversation about this bill, because even this bill, the very organ of it, Madam Speaker, is how to give life to statutory instruments, instruments that have been produced by this House. The legislature is an equal arm in the theology of the existence of government as prescribed by our Constitution. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Many times, Madam Speaker, I see decisions by the legislature being challenged so casually. And I have said times without number in this House that perhaps it has come to a time where we must have a conversation, including with the judiciary and the JSC, Madam Speaker, of what is a threshold within which a judge sitting, even if they have a petition before them, can overturn the decision of an entire House, Madam Speaker, even in the consideration of whatever issues has been brought about them. Because I do not imagine that it was the design of our constitutional architecture, Madam Speaker, for a bill to go through both houses of Parliament, go through public participation, assented into law, the following day, stakeholders who, for one reason or the other, may have certain misgivings about that particular bill, Madam Speaker, they move to a court of law, they secure an injunction, and that is the end of the story. I have seen that happen many times. And there are many bills that I can quote off the top of mind, including bills that are matters of public interest. I'll cite an example, the sugar bill, a bill that we tried to pass here last time. The House adjourned. We came back, Madam Speaker, for this 13th Parliament. We quickly moved the bill, and within 1.5 years, that bill had gone through all the systems of Parliament. Today, as we speak, the most critical parts of that Act of Parliament today cannot be implemented, Madam Speaker. Why? Because a single individual, one person, a Kenyan, appeared before one judge, another Kenyan, and all the millions of farmers that depend on sugarcane as a farming cannot enjoy on the proceeds of the work that has been done by the legislature. Madam Speaker, I do not think that that was the design of our Constitution. There must be a threshold, especially on matters of public interest, Madam Speaker, things that affect the livelihood of millions of other Kenyans, because that is the force of law that Parliament has, Madam Speaker. This particular bill speaks to a very simple provision, because many times we pass legislation in this House and we don't effect the timelines within which certain regulations, for example, are supposed to have been gazetted. And that's why we are introducing a new clause 24A, Madam Speaker, into the Statutory Instruments Act, Madam Speaker, so as to make sure that, one, a regulatory making authority shall make statutory instruments within the period provided for under the enabling legislation. Many times we pass bills here, and maybe members don't take time to read to the final part of the bill. In the transition clauses, we normally provide the period upon which certain regulations are supposed to have to be implemented and passed. Most of those timelines are violated and ignored, Madam Speaker, because there is no sanction. People imagine that Parliament said within 90 days of the passage of this bill, the minister is supposed to gazette these regulations. But we leave it hanging. So people don't care. They say what will happen anyway. And if indeed, even if you took them before a court of law, there would be no sanctions against them, because the law is silent on that particular issue. So the best the judge can do is either to tell that person, please be prudent. In fact, reading this bill, much as it was a negotiated document, I'm not even satisfied with the sanctions that are being now posted on public officers who don't follow the prescription of what the time period within which you're supposed to gazette these regulations. There's a proposal for 500,000. I think that is a slap on the wrist of somebody who's ignoring the gathering of the people of Kenya. You know, the unfortunate bit, Madam Speaker, is because people look at Parliament as a gathering of 410 individuals. What they don't appreciate is that extracting from the provisions of our Constitution, Parliament is a gathering of all the 50 million of Kenyans through their representatives, elected directly, Madam Speaker. And when they speak, because it's not possible for the entire country to agree on any simple question as a wholesome, because we are constitutional democracy, Madam Speaker, we have passed it in our laws and set the threshold within which, once which a particular threshold is passed, then it is considered that that is the common position of every Kenyan that lives under the jurisdiction and the maps of our country, Madam Speaker. For example, in Senate, it is passed that once 24 delegations have agreed on a particular bill, that bill is considered, Madam Speaker, or that instrument that is before us is considered to have been passed by everybody, including those who, for one reason or the other, may not have voted in support of that particular bill. That is how democracy works. Our counterpart house passes their legislation through a simple majority, Madam Speaker, that once gathered as a House of Parliament, when a motion is before them, when a bill is before them, once more than half of the people gathered in that particular house have passed whatever legislation it is considered to be the bounding law in that particular country, in the country, Madam Speaker. And it is my wish and hope that we can actually enforce and give strength to the Houses of Parliament. You know, because of how we are caricatured in newspapers, Madam Speaker, how people speak all manner of things against politicians, as if we are aliens, as if we are not picked from the ordinary stock and pile of the average Kenyan, Madam Speaker. You know, the people you find in this house, Madam Speaker, whether you like them or you don't, they are the cumulative total of the ordinary Kenyans. anything that you see that you don't like in the members of parliament in this house, that is exactly what you will find in any other gathering, so long as you put together Kenyans, Madam Speaker. And therefore, the institution of parliament needs to be respected. Their decisions, Madam Speaker, it must take a certain level of caution before they are varied by any person, whether an officer in the executive, Madam Speaker, that's why we are sanctioning those that are not passing regulations, or even those that sits in our benches or in the courts of law, Madam Speaker. Part 2 of it is to provide where enabling legislation does not provide the timelines within which a statutory instrument is to be made. The regulatory making authority will make the statutory instrument within 12 months from the date of commencement of enabling legislation. That if, for whatever reason, Madam Speaker, it happens that we have passed a legislation and we didn't specify the time period within which those regulations are supposed to have been made, the end period within which an officer who is supposed to pass to make those regulations, the time that they have, including taking them through the motions of parliament, Madam Speaker, is 12 months. And that is now provided for in law. As it was, I have explained previously, Madam Speaker, there was nothing provided. Number 3, if that regulatory making authority fails to make the statutory instrument within the specified time, any person may petition Parliament and where possible together with a draft of the statutory instrument for consideration. That's how bold we've become. That we are telling the executive, by the way, it's not a must that you do it. If you don't bring the regulations within the time period within which you are supposed to bring those regulations before the Houses of Parliament, any Kenyan that is interested in that particular sector can draft regulations and bring to this House. And we will pass it, Madam Speaker, especially where there is unjustified delay from the side of the executive. And there are Kenyans that are interested in that particular sector and they feel that we are holding them back because of the issue of regulations. We need to pass such regulations. 4, Madam Speaker, if a person without reasonable cause fails to make statutory instruments within the timelines, they commit an offense. I think I've spoken about this, Madam Speaker. Despite the fact that at the NADCO panel, we agreed on a fine of 500,000, I'd wish to urge the House that probably you can suggest a more resounding fine that will make people think twice before they ignore sanctions of Parliament. 500,000, though, is what is provided for. Last, Madam Speaker, is a person is liable for an offence under subsection 4 shall be liable for fine, and public funds shall not be used to pay such a fine, because many times, Madam Speaker, when we sanction public officers, they revert back to public coffers to pay those fines. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I beg to move and request the minority leader who we have co-sponsored with this particular bill, Madam Speaker, to second. I thank you.
Senator Mazaya.
Asante Bispika kwa kunipa nafasi hii. Bispika, cha kwanza nataka kuunga mkono yote ambayo ndugu yangu ameweza kuyasema hapa mbele, kiongozi wa walio wengi, kuhusikana na hii bili ya sheria endeleza. Hii sheria ambayo inaweza kuendeleza ama sheria endelezi ni sheria ambayo inaweza kutupatia nafasi ya kufungua chapter ingine ili iweze kutusaidia wakati wote ambao janga likiwa limetokea. Speaker, ni kweli hii ni bili mojawapo ambao sio bili za kawaida, lakini inaweza kutupa sisi mamlaka. Speaker, Waswahili ama wahenga husema fimbo iliyo mkononi ndio fimbo inaua nyoka, ama ndio fimbo inayokusaidia wakati uko na shida fulani. Sisi tulikuwa katika shida kubwa na ilikuwa ni lazima tuepukane na ile shida. Kwa hiyo ni lazima tutengeze sheria ambayo ilikuwa inaweza kutusaidia tutoke katika lile janga. Na ndio sababu tunasema ya kwamba fimbo iliyo mkononi ndio fimbo ambayo inaweza kukusaidia kuua nyoka. Isije ikageuka ikawa lile gogo ambalo linakuvukisha alafu ukasema badala ya kusema ni dau wewe ukaliita gogo. Ndio sababu katika hiyo misemo hii ikawa mojawapo katika zile tunaita NADCO. Ni uhusiano wa watu walikuja na wakatengeza sheria hiyo. Speaker, kwa kauli yote, wakati tukiwa katika shida ama janga lolote la kisiasa likitokea, huwa ni lazima watu wakae na kuwe na suluhisho, na hii ndio sheria mojawapo. Speaker, mimi nikiendelea kuunga mkono ni kwamba hii bili ya sheria endelezi ni kwa sababu inaweza kupatia uhai jopo ama sheria fulani kutengenezwa ili iweze kupatia nafasi sheria itengenezwe ambayo inaweza kutumika kwa wakati wa hafla. Speaker, majukumu kama hayo ni muhimu sana, na watu watakaopatikana katika hiyo hali, ikiwa wanaweza kutafakari na kuweza kuleta hayo majukumu kabla hilo janga halijatokea, tunasema kwamba hiyo itakuwa njia nzuri. Na hili sheria endelezi kama hii ambayo imekuja mbele yetu inafaa kwa sababu imesema ya kwamba kama ikiwa itakuwa inaweza kutekelezeka, basi kutakuwa na adhabu kama mtu atakuwa hakufanya hivyo. Inatuambia kwamba kutakuwa na mtu anaweza kupelekwa kotini na akachukuliwa hatua ya kulipa fine ya zaidi ya $500,000. Speaker, kwa kumalizia ni kwamba sheria hii ina umuhimu na ni nzuri, na tunaona ya kwamba itaweza kutusaidia wakati wowote. Kwa hiyo mimi naiunga mkono sheria hii ya bili ya sheria endeleza ama endelezi kwa sababu nilizozitafakari hapo awali. Asante Speaker, naunga mkono.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2024, be now read a second time. Senator Cherarki.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity, and to thank the leadership. I think this is among the 9 bills under NADCO report. And Madam Speaker, I would have expected that we should have dispensed off this bill so that we can allow members to also prosecute other bills. And Madam Speaker, it's good to see you. The last time I saw you, we were condoling with the Dagoretti North Member of Parliament, Beatrice Alachi. And it is good that all of us are members of Parliament. We stand with each other, especially when we have challenges. Madam Speaker, secondly, the NADCO process was a bipartisan process. And I think the committee that was formed by both Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga and President William Ruto has borne the fruits. And one of the achievements that we have made so far, Madam Speaker, is we have now a broad-based engagement and broad-based government where we are working through by partnership, Madam Speaker. And one of the bills, the beneficiary is Senate has stood as the House of Union. Madam Speaker, I'm waiting with excitement. The constitutional amendment bill, Madam Speaker. And I know you as a member of Speaker's panel, I saw, Madam Speaker, you need to clear in future, because I've seen you being introduced twice. Sometimes you come from Busia, sometimes you come from Kisumu. You will clear some of us so that in future we know where to refer you to. And you are a member of Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights. I would really want to see, because, Madam Speaker, how Kenya is, even as these bills of NADCO are being processed, we must broaden and widen the executive. The fact that the current constitution of executive, we only have the president and the deputy president, will not accommodate our divergent nature of Kenya, Madam Speaker. Even the reason we have heightened campaigns, jostling and pushing for executive power, Madam Speaker, is because, one, winner takes it all. Number two is because there are only two positions, Madam Speaker, and I hope in the NADCO report, where among the bills that we are discussing today, Madam Speaker, we must have an expanded executive where we have the president, Madam Speaker, we have the deputy president, we have executive prime minister, Madam Speaker, and we have two deputy prime ministers, Madam Speaker, and we have leadership that is clear, Madam Speaker. And I don't see the need, Madam Speaker. Why should we appoint a member of parliament, they resign, we go for by-election, the country incurs expenses? Let us allow members of parliament to be appointed to the cabinet. We give them sitting allowances in the cabinet and save salaries, Madam Speaker, so that we can have a country. And therefore, I hope in the 9 bills that we are intending to bring, and one of them being in the Constitution Amendment Bill, this one being Statutory Amendment Bill, and I'm happy the youth leader, Senator Oburu Odinga, looks excited, especially when I mentioned the issue of expanded executive, because we want his brother to continue serving as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya going into the future, and they are doing good work with the President, Raila Amolo Odinga. Madam Speaker, secondly, was on the issue of Section 11, the amendment on the Statutory Amendment 2024. When you read the parent act, Madam Speaker, that is Statutory Amendment Act of 2013, it's very clear. Madam Speaker, the delegated committee, I think in the last session, I don't know, Madam Speaker, whether Senator Faki is lucky or he is always lucky. Because in the last session, when the reorganization of committees in 2020, he became the chair of delegated committee. And I think he did a very good work, and I would have expected him to go back. But I think he decided to deal with issues of land in coastal region and the entire country. And I remember at that time, we used to argue on the timeline of delegated. And as they tried as a committee, you find, because under section, I think the closed section 2 of the statutory amendment in the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013, the definition of regulatory making authority, Madam Speaker, has been given an obligation to do their job. But I remember during tenure of Senator Faki as the chair of a delegated committee, some of the regulatory making authority were delaying in doing their job. And in fact, we had to argue on operationalization because, Madam Speaker, after we have passed a bill, the parent ministry is given authority to do regulations. But you find they stole the operationalization of that act of parliament because they do what, Madam Speaker? They are not very keen in bringing, and I'm happy it has been made now mandatory that within 12 months, Madam Speaker, they must give us, Madam Speaker, timeline for regulation. And therefore, Madam Speaker, we must be very keen because you find a law is passed, the Ministry of ICT, in fact, I remember, Madam Speaker, one of the laws, and Senior Senator, Minority Leader, Senator Manzayo, you remember the one on the data protection. It took so long to bring allegations to Parliament. You remember the Information Act of 2016. It took so long to have regulations being brought into the House, Madam Speaker, because somebody somewhere in the ministry was sleeping. And I'm happy they have been given within 12 months. They must ensure those regulations so that they don't stall our work. Madam Speaker, I would say there, Parliament and Senate and National appear that they don't do their work. Because after we pass the act, somebody goes to court, the regulations are not published. Then when you try and explain to people that the regulatory making authority has not brought us the regulations, Madam Speaker, they imagine we are abdicating or relicting our duty, Madam Speaker. And therefore I agree, the punishable should be around 2 million, Madam Speaker, 2 million Kenya shillings. 500,000 is chicken change, Madam Speaker. So we must at least 2 million minimum because you are punishing a minister. Let's assume the regulatory making authority should be the ministry. If you are now, Madam Speaker, punishing or fining only a minister, Madam Speaker, 500,000 shillings, you can imagine they will just laugh at you. The way we were trying through Senator Outsource's bill, where we are saying when somebody fails to appear before the committee, before committee of parliament, we just find them 500,000. And you find governors were smiling all the way to the committees. In fact, I remember the former governor Kitui, because Madam Speaker have been veteran in Public Accounts Committee, when we find former governor Charity Ngilu, 500,000 shillings, she just told us, where can I pay? Can I pay via M-Pesa? Can I pay in cash? Until we guided her that you must deposit and pay through the clerk of the Senate. So we must increase so that we make it painful and punishable going into the future, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the use of technology, that is amendment of section 19 and 18, is to publish both on revocation. Because, Madam Speaker, whenever you want to explain something with this digital era, Madam Speaker, we must go online. The website is important. I know Senator Utsosi have always have a problem with people who learn technology issues, even in ICT. Madam Speaker, we have always have a challenge. Let revocation by the concerned clerk, if it is Clerk Nyekenya Jeremiah or the clerk of National Assembly, they should publish on the website through the Kenya Gazette so that any Kenyan, you know, Madam Speaker, I am the chairperson of Open Governance, co-convener in Parliament, Open Governance Program, OGP. One of our tenets of OGP, Open Governance, is transparency and accountability. The only way Parliament will be accountable, colleague leaders, is, Madam Speaker, is by publishing what we do so that it becomes easy to ensure accountable. Madam Speaker, sorry, I had not seen Senator Metu. I thought he was with the President in the tour of Murima. Madam Speaker, and therefore, we must use and ensure that there is revocation and publishing of regulations, Madam Speaker. When you look at section 23, that I agree, because, Madam Speaker, we want to prevent busybodies. Now they says regulations might be considered through the standing orders of the Senate or National Assembly, and as per the act, the parent act of that regulations must be considered. When you look at, Madam Speaker, just to take you back, section 5A, Madam Speaker, of the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013, it talks about explanatory memo. One of the conditions of explanatory memo before you bring before the Senate, before Parliament, Madam Speaker, is that there must be adequate public participation. Colleague leaders and senators, Madam Speaker, most of our bills that we have passed in the floor of the House, and I remember Senator Danson Mungatana was mentioning Okia Omutata, has only fell at the stroke of the pen by judges of court, Madam Speaker, because of only one simple thing, lack of public participation. In the explanatory memo under section 5A of the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013, one of the grounds, Madam Speaker, is public participation. They must show how consultation was done, and therefore, so that we bulletproof. Is it bulletproof, or we ensure that, Madam Speaker, that we cannot open it up for challenge. Madam Speaker, we are not saying courts should not interpret the law or should not question the process of Parliament. And I remember, Madam Speaker, in Speaker Mate's case, Madam Speaker, you remember on the issue where a court said we cannot challenge a process, especially on impeachment, that we only challenge at the tail end. We are not saying courts should not challenge. But we are worried when courts want to overreach their mandate. They want to do legislation, Madam Speaker. They want to do lawmaking, Madam Speaker. You have seen, Madam Speaker, and that is why sometimes some of us ask, what are courts? What is the role of courts? Are they court keepers of particular, Madam Speaker, of particular individuals? Because sometimes Minority Leader Senator Stewart Madzai of Kilifi, why is it that CBC courts have dealt an injunction? Madam Speaker, university funding model, they have dealt an injunction. Mr. Speaker, I noticed the change on the chair. Why is it that all matters that are pro-government, courts are quick to issue injunctions, and we are Kenyans? Courts do not exist in isolation. We must question them. We are funding them. We gave them 20 billion through appropriation the other day, Mr. Speaker, sorry. We gave through appropriation. Why is it that when we ask courts of law for accountability and transparency, why is it that anything that is government programs, the courts are quick to issue injunctions, for example? They should just come up, Chief Justice, which I have tremendous respect for, Chief Justice Martha Koome should just come and tell us the reason we are issuing injunctions, temporary injunctions against government programs, is because of X, Y, Z. And that is why, colleagues, this is one way of preventing a lot of litigations and litigious courts process, Madam Speaker. And that is the interest of us. We are lawmaking. You remember today, Mr. Speaker, we just passed the conditional allocations, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I'm happy Nandi today in the afternoon, under conditional grants and loans, Nandi is getting 486 million Kenyan shillings, Mr. Speaker. That is tremendous. But the sad reality is that this money will never give value. I know my neighbor, Senator Otsosi, knows there is nothing going on in Nandi County except that it has become the headquarters of corruption, where the governor, Mr. Speaker, is using 48.2 million to hire vehicles that you wonder why, as a government, buy vehicles, then do car hire services. It doesn't make sense, Mr. Speaker. This is how we are destroying devolution. And we sat through here, Mr. Speaker, to deliberate and protect and ensure that our counties get their resources that is enough, Mr. Speaker. And when such things that, Mr. Speaker, because this is a NADCO, one of the NADCO bills, I hope, and I wish I have not seen Senator Okongo Mgeni, but Senate Minority Leader is here, and I can't see other people. Maybe Senator Beatrice has some info. One of the bills, Senate Minority Leader, and of course the Deputy ODM Leader here, one of the bills is we should be discussing and ensuring that we pass the laws of fight against corruption. It cannot be. Today we sat, Nandi has got 486 million today. But when you go to the ground, the only thing my governor is doing is demolitions only in Kapsabet Town. Throwing women. And I know you pass, I know Senator Uburu knows Kapsabet. The market you used to talk to me, it has been demolished by the governor. In fact, Senator Orwoba should be the biggest person who should be raising our voice against women being thrown on the streets in Kapsabet Town or in Namgoi. I want to listen to the voice of Senator Orwoba on this issue because this is femicide. What is femicide? When you go and destroy where women are selling their wares in Kapsabet Town, in Namgoi Town, and you throw them on the streets, they cannot feed their... What is femicide? It is femicide that Governor Sang is doing. Because why throw the women on the streets? Mr. Speaker, it is sad reality that we must fight. I want to call upon the House leadership. The way we are passing the issue of NADCO, the way we are working hard to pass the bill on NADCO, I want to see the House leadership under the guidance of President William Ruto and Raila Odinga on how to deal with corruption in counties. It cannot be that we appropriate money. Mr. Speaker, you saw on Sunday, Taifa Leo, it was talking about counties where money is being lost through payroll. Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the biggest counties that featured was Nandi County, where payroll is being used. Mr. Speaker, sir, you find governor has cost workers, almost 300. There are people who carry seats. There are people who carry microphones. There are people who carry mobile toilets. There are people who carry carpet. There are people who carry Bible. There are people who carry pens. There are people who carry concubines. Mr. Speaker, it cannot be that we work very hard to create demigods and gods in our counties. I want to challenge the minority leader who is holding forth on behalf of the NADCO issues. Please bring something on corruption in counties. We cannot be working hard. Go to the village during the weekend in Kilifi, somewhere in Magarini, where money has been devolved. But those people, poverty is walking around like a human being. It cannot be in Garissa. Mr. Speaker, sir, less than 1 kilometer, water is passing through the town, but people cannot access clean and safe water. It cannot be, Mr. Speaker, that here in Nairobi, everywhere you walk is either you have pools that are more deeper than dimples, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, with those many issues that I've raised, I support, let us fast track these NADCO bills. We are in support, Mr. Speaker. We are totally and absolutely with military precision on this NADCO. We are certainly behind President William Ruto and Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Mr. Speaker, into moving into a broad base and ensuring that we move this country forward. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks and with the smile of my minority leader, I beg to support.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this very important opportunity to also make my contribution to this very important bill, the Statutory Instrument Amendment Bill. Mr. Speaker, I think this bill is very, very timely and long overdue, because what this bill is seeking to do is that it will define in law that those who make regulations, when an act of parliament is passed, they have up to 12 months to enact regulations. Mr. Speaker, statutory instruments are very important. These are basically the regulations which ministries come up with, or which the executive or even judiciary come up with to try and implement the provisions of the Act of Parliaments that we pass. Mr. Speaker, we know that we cannot put everything in an Act of Parliament. That is why, as a standard, we always create room for making regulations so that the respective ministries of government departments will be able to come up with specific regulations to manage various issues. We have seen problems in the past where we pass laws and several years down the line, we do not see any regulations having been formulated or enacted to implement various provisions of that law. Mr. Speaker, that has made a number of laws unimplementable because of lack of regulations. This proposed law, Mr. Speaker, will make it mandatory that we must have regulations within 12 months or after passage of an Act of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I think in this country, these statutory instruments have been misused, Mr. Speaker. They have been misused because some of these statutory instruments have been formulated without following the law. We have seen either in writing or in actions, some laws have been developed without the input of Parliament, which is against Article 95(5) of the Constitution, which says no person or body other than Parliament has the power to make provision having the force of law in Kenya, except under authority conferred by the Constitution or legislation. We have seen ministries make regulations which are not provided for in law. And therefore, even as we talk about putting a timeline under which this department or ministries will be able to come up with regulation, we also have to ask ourselves, what are the regulations outside there which are contravening the law, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, for example, if I may give an example, right now, Mr. Speaker, you go to every private parking area. They are charging parking fees, Mr. Speaker, without following any law. You go to a supermarket, You stay there for 5 minutes. When you come out, they charge you money. Where is this money going to? Where is the law that requires that private people charge or tax people through parking fees? This is an issue that Parliament must look at. And many, many other things which are happening outside there, which are not documented in regulations, and people are profiting from these things without following the law. Mr. Speaker, we also have to appreciate the need for having regulations. As stated, is because we cannot have everything in an Act of Parliament. We have to create space for the implementers of the Act of Parliament to also implement those Acts of Parliament by coming up with the regulation. But Mr. Speaker, we have to express our discomfort that many of the laws that we pass are not implemented because the regulations are not formulated and enacted. Mr. Speaker, I know my colleagues here have talked about various pieces of legislation which are not supported by regulation. For example, Mr. Speaker, for a long time, the Sugar Act, before it was repealed initially, we had a lot of issues in the sugar industry, issues that could be resolved through regulations. But every time you ask why this issue has not been addressed, you are told that the Ministry of Agriculture has not come up with the regulations. And farmers suffered for a long time. We have other cases, other legislation that we have passed in this House, which are not supported by the relevant regulation. For example, Mr. Speaker, the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crime Act. We passed this law. I know some parts of it was taken, opposed in court, but large sections of this law have not been implemented because there are no regulations. For example, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of regulations around the matter of critical systems, we do not have regulations around it. And therefore, people continue to profit from crimes around cybercrime because there are no regulations to support it. Mr. Speaker, even Data Protection Act, we still have so many aspects of the Data Protection Act which is not implemented because the regulations are not there. Mr. Speaker, even as we talk about regulations, let's also talk about how long can these regulations be in place. We know that the Statutory Instrument Act provides for a period of 10 years. After 10 years, must come back to Parliament and seek extension of that period. And this one is important because laws change, environment change, and when the laws change, the regulations should also change, Mr. Speaker. Like we have regulations which were enacted before the Constitution of 2010. Those regulations need to be repealed so that they align to the new Constitution of 2010. So the 10-year period of expiry, it is important. And recently, Mr. Speaker, we had about 1,700 pieces of regulations which had expired and which Parliament passed to extend their period for another 10 years. So this expiry period in the regulation must be monitored continuously so that we don't have a situation like what we had in 2013, where this huge number of regulations expired and they affected so many operations in government. Mr. Speaker, the making of regulation should be done in a proper manner, processed in this House as per Article 94(6) of the Constitution, which requires that there must be a clear objective of having those regulations, there must be a clear scope, and there must be a clear limit of authority of those regulations, and also the alternatives must also be specified, and the effect must also be indicated. Mr. Speaker, you find that most of the regulations do not abide by the standards which have been set up in Article 94(6) of the Constitution. And I want to encourage the relevant committee of delegated legislation that such regulation should not see the light of the day, should be annulled because they are unconstitutional, and they may lead to some form of punishment to the people without approval of Parliament as per Article 94 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, it is also important to know that even gazette notices that are issued by various government institutions, including the executive order, they are supposed to be subjected to parliamentary scrutiny. They are supposed to be processed by delegated legislation. I don't know how many executive orders have come to this House to be processed. I don't think any has come. Mr. Speaker, it is important that the authority to make the law remains the preserve of Parliament. If we allow ministers or even the President to make regulation through gazette notices or through executive orders, we will be taking away the powers of Parliament to make law as per Article 94 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, even as we talk about this, the regulations must be processed through public participation. We have seen cases where regulations are gazetted without any input from the public. Mr. Speaker, this is unconstitutional. And sometimes, maybe when the committee is not able to do it in time, you find that these regulations are implemented, and yet they have not met the minimum standards, including public participation process, including compliance to Article 94(6) of the Constitution. I think the committee should be alert so that such regulations